But I have to say, when I was diagnosed, I immediately thought, how in the world could I have diabetes? I don't even like sugar. So, we're going to talk about how people react and respond to when I say things like, I eat more sugar now as a person with diabetes than I ever have eaten sugar before. And they seem really perplexed by this. And a lot of that is because we have this like common story about sugar and diabetes. And so because I've spent 8 years of my life misdiagnosed, I have lived with the heavy weight of type 2 stigma. And in this transition, right, between, say, living with type 2 and living with type 1, I've noticed a lot of comments about, like, sugar didn't cause my type 1 diabetes. And I'm like, sugar didn't cause anybody's diabetes, right? And so that's one of the messages that I want to promote, is that when we are out there on social media and we just make it known that sugar doesn't cause any type of diabetes. And because that is a common myth, like literally I just didn't know how diabetes happened to me. I didn't know, because I love salty stuff. Those of you who like, salty stuff, vinegary stuff, can you raise your hand? Do I have any people in the group that is like that? But that's definitely me. You give me salt and vinegar, I'm there. You give me a pickle, I'm there. But sugar wasn't my thing. And so I'm really excited about dispelling those kinds of myths. The next thing I want to talk about is the statements of like, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat sugar. Right? So that's like the total opposite. And people are saying like, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat sugar. And I'm like, okay, if you don't eat sugar, like, what are you eating? Tell me more. And they're like, oh, I only eat fruit. I only eat. And I'm like, well, that's sugar, right? So I think in addition to the misconceptions of, say, sugar causing diabetes, we also have this misconception of really understanding what sugar is, right? Think about it. When our blood sugar is really low, what do we go to? We go to glucose tablets or glucose strips, right? We have these glucagon kits. And so it's like all these many different types of sugar and how quickly they get into our bloodstream. And so I had to learn that while I was newly diagnosed, and I was like, how the heck did it happen to me and I don't eat sugar? It's like, well, wait a minute. When I'm eating my salt and vinegar, what am I eating them on? Potato chips. Well, sometimes when we have potato chips, we have to count it, right, as carbs, i.e. sugar, that kind of thing.